Hey everyone, welcome back. I have named my channel to now be a podcast. It is called Sam McDonough Bikini McPodcast, and I am Sam McDonough, IFBB Bikini Pro. Okay, let's get into what we have going on this weekend. First things first, the nonprofit shout out I have is the same as it's been the past, few days. I posted a lot of videos in the past week. And it is the Trevor Project, which will be linked below. And then another shout out. It is my gorgeous client, posing client, Anina's birthday. Let's go to Instagram and let's shout out Anina for her birthday. Here she is. Happy birthday, Anina. You are the coolest, and I am so grateful for you. Okay, let's get into it. So we're going to start with FIBO. We have two shows going on this weekend, and the first one that we're going to talk about is FIBO. The other one we have is the Charlotte, is it called the Charlotte Cup or the Charlotte Pro? I don't know. But we're going to talk about FIBO first. There are fewer athletes at this show that I have pulled up because it's a smaller show in general. And I learned that I was watching Pro Bikini News Network. I was watching him, and he said that this is the biggest fitness expo in the world. So that'll be really cool. And he said it's also the first time they've had an expo, or they've had a bodybuilding show there. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first person I have pulled up is Eliomena. This is her pro debut. So I don't always pull up people for their pro debut because, usually people need to put on a little more muscle first, So, but I don't know. I saw this girl and her shape is gorgeous. Like, this is a very good bikini structure. So I wanted to pull her up. If not someone to look out for this year, then definitely someone to look out for in the future. So this show happened in July. So she's had a fair amount of time off to build some size. The first thing I think when I look at her here, physique-wise, is that we need some more hamstring. She's more muscular on her upper body than she is on her lower body. I don't know where in the overall she placed, but it was the top 3 overall at this show that went pro. And she was not the top overall, so she was either second or third. And yeah, I saw her structure and I was just gooped and gagged. Oh, speaking of being gooped and gagged, look at how my boyfriend folded my shirt. It's so perfectly folded to showcase Katya, even though it says Trixie above. Maybe they should have put them on the other sides. Not to shade you, but really. Oh my god, I choked on my own spit. I instantly choked on my words because I was talking smack on the queens. Okay. That shirt also got me expedited care at the DMV on Friday because the guy knew, he was like, I love your shirt. I was like, thanks. And then he was like, I'll help you over here, when I was supposed to go fill out an application first. But instead, he has helped me. So, stand with the queens. Okay, here's what I wanted to say. So, physique-wise, some more hamstring. So that's her front pose. And let's pull up her back pose. So I was making side-by-side comparisons for these competitors for a while. But having NPC's side up helps me do some research a little bit faster. So let me know if you have a preference. Do you prefer when I go off the website like I am right now, or when I have things prepared beforehand? I have all the tabs open, but do you like the side-by-sides better? Okay, so Eliomena. The first thing I notice is her hamstrings. Need some more hamstring size because we're starting to see ligaments in here and a lot of flatness on the hamstrings in the front and in the back pose. But she's had since July, so yeah, 5 months plus, so 8 months. So she had probably 5 months to build, maybe more like 3.5, 4, depending on how long her prep was. But yeah, so she could definitely put on size. I should look her up on Instagram actually. But yeah, that's what I noticed. Everything looks balanced except for the hamstrings. We need more hamstring, and we're seeing more detail up top, but that's just because, and the only reason that sticks out is because we need more fullness on the bottom to match. Having this much bicep vein show is not necessarily a bad thing in bikini. It's pretty normal. And it doesn't look like too much. So yeah, and then as far as her posing, I think hair and makeup is really pretty. Hair is a perfect length. Makeup looks really pretty. These photos are kind of washed out. The photos of themselves are kind of washed out. So I am gonna benefit it out, think that this, that the cool tones on her eyes worked. I'm gonna go with the fact that they worked. And suit color, I think, even though these are washed out, she needs something that pops off her skin more. Like something more jewel toned, something more saturated, like a turquoise would be beautiful, a green, like a emerald, an emerald green would be gorgeous on her. Really any color that isn't cooler like this, but maybe in person it popped. I'm not sure. Let me look her up on Instagram. And then bring that hand down, like I talked about in a lot of videos. Bring the hand down. You don't want to cover up the smallest part of your waist because it makes it look wider because it's skin flowing into skin. So drop it down to your hip. And I would like to add a little more bend in this knee. We're seeing that hyperextension here, which makes a big gap in these legs. And that would also make her legs look a little more balanced to her upper body if they were slightly closer together by her having this little bend. I know I pull this picture of Jennifer Dory up all the time, but in case anyone is new here, I will pull it up again. So this is what Jennifer's leg looks like and how she used to pose in her front pose when it's completely straight, which makes it look round because she has very flexible knees. But this is when she adds a little bit of a bend and it balances out her physique more. And then we'll go ahead and just compare that to a pose where she's entirely posed. So here was her previous front pose, and here is her, well, as current as possible front pose that we have. So this makes her physique look more balanced overall. You get that like definite hourglass shape, and then this is just a little bit out of balance. Not because she's doing anything wrong, she's just standing like she naturally would, but she gets better balance when she has a little bit of bend. So that's what I would like Eliomena to do, and I will see if I can find her Instagram really quick. Let me pause. Okay, I paused because I'm always afraid I want to like pull up confidential info, but I couldn't find her Instagram. So if anyone can find it, please comment it below. So yeah, I think she's someone to look out for. And then next on our list is Noemi. She has not placed top 5 since 2023. Last year she was outside of that top 5, like as high as she got was 8th. Noemi, I don't think we ever talked about her on here before, so, or maybe I have. So yeah, when was the last show she did? July 6th. I don't think I was making videos during that time. So I started closer to the Olympia. So here is Noemi. So Noemi has a really great look, but what we're missing with her is I would like other people's opinions too. I can't tell exactly what we need here. So here is her back pose, and here's her front pose. So, okay. Let's start with the quick things. Complexion is gorgeous. It looks great. Tan looks great. Conditioning looks great. Her conditioning is something that is varied over time because she's trying to, adhere to whatever the criteria is and following judges' feedback. Makeup and hair is perfect. This hair looks fucking incredible. Like cunty hair. She looks amazing. I love this. Could be a little bit shorter, but she kind of has the thing we were talking about with Charlotte the other day, which is maybe I can't quite tell, but a wider waist from the back. Okay. So having it be a little bit longer is okay. I don't want it to touch her glutes, but still, it's good. It's not like covering her glutes significantly. Also, she's arching so much that I think that could be making her low back look wider than it is. From the back, like her waist look wider from the back than it actually is. And let's pull up some other pictures for her too, just to, check that. But okay, so what is she missing here? The legs could use a little bit of bend to them. They're kind of going down and out, which looks a little bit awkward to me. So I would want her to bend her knees a little bit more and like externally rotate. She has all the glutes in the world, so her glutes are not going to be overpowered by her quads. If anything, I think what she needs to bring up are her legs and leave everything else the same for now, unless directed otherwise by the judges. I think this back pose is pretty great. It's just the legs that I'd want to see with a little bend in them, so we don't get this like splaying out at the sides. Is splaying even the right word? And a little less arch in the low back. That's what I want, because it's making her look a little bit squat almost. That's what I think when I look at this back pose. However, it is greatly improved from previous poses, which I'll show you. From the front pose, I think same thing, a little bit of no, she might not need to bend her knee. She could a little bit. I don't think it would make a huge difference. But her shoulders, super full in the front and the back pose. Waist tapers down to really tiny. Glutes, she has a lot of glute pop in the front, a lot of glute pop in the back, obviously. But her legs look undersized compared to the rest of her, which throws off her balance across her entire physique. So that's what I want. I hope that since this show that she did, that she has put on more size. And did I say this was in July? If so, she said the same amount of time as Eligomeni, who we just talked about. Yeah, okay, so July. Looking at her at the show where she got at the Flex Pro, where she was a little bit lower in placing, let's look at what her posing was like there. And I'll show you a specific show where I think her conditioning was way different. So yeah, her conditioning is a little bit tighter at this show. Her upper back looks like it's posed a little bit differently. I do like this look, and she doesn't look like she is arching quite as much because her waist does look smaller. Part of that could be, though, that her elbows are out more. They're not as straight, so it's maximizing the amount of window we get between the elbow and the waist here. So that could also be it. Maybe she is arching just as much. But that is one of my initial thoughts. And then where is the show that I was thinking of? Was it the Empro? As far as her suit color, I think pink or blue looks great. I think she can't really go wrong with whichever one she wears. And the show that I'm thinking about, maybe with Shiro. I'm not going to keep going through all these, but okay, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've lost the plot. She does look harder at this show than she did at other shows, so I prefer the conditioning she's coming with most recently. I think what she needs is more size in the legs because they look small compared to the rest of her. Okay, that's all I have to say about Noemi. I really like Noemi, so good luck to her. Good luck to all these people. Okay, and then we have Evie Eskandar. So I talked a lot about Evie at I did a Nutriomi and Hurricane recap. I would prefer she stick with the red suit. I think it's fantastic. She sometimes does weird things with her posing. Like, she'll enter on a pose that is not as flattering for her. And we can take the Hurricane, for example. She'll enter and do this pose, but she doesn't have a super narrow waist from the front. It makes her look too rectangular and then takes away from hourglass shape. Like I always talk about, you want to have an hourglass shape in every pose that you do. Yume was a great example of that. If you look at my video from the other day, every single move she made on stage, she was maintaining hourglass shape the whole time, and poise, and just all around fabulosity, I would say. She just is exuding bikini criteria with the way she poses every single move she makes on stage. Evie, I want her to drop this from her routine, because if it's not helping you, then it's not worth doing. You only want to show the judges your absolute best. So if you show them that gives them any reason to find a flaw, then you've, not failed that task, but it's not helping you. There's just no point. So I would like her to eliminate this from routine. It looks like she might have it the Nutriomi, but I didn't see a live stream, so maybe she did it and then they just didn't take a picture. She's starting right in her front pose. You don't see her walking in, so she certainly could have done it before she did her front pose. But yeah, so I want her to eliminate that, because judges' jobs are to find a flaw in you. Everyone looks great. I always say this, everyone looks great, but that's why it's about who shows you the most flaws, especially at these pro shows. They don't have a lot of flaws, so they are splitting hairs trying to find something wrong. As far as her front pose, I would like her to bring her arm in just to frame her glute better. I also wouldn't mind if her suit bottoms came up a little bit higher. She has a longer torso, and it's kind of going a little bit too low for me. So I would like it to come up a little bit higher, but, nothing too much more than she already has. And if she comes in with the right conditioning, she's likely to win this show. She wins most shows that she does. So it's probably Evie's show. Back pose, I think it's great. I think she could straighten her arms a little bit. But other than that, I think it's great. And she's come in with the right conditioning a million times. So I think if she defers to whatever conditioning judges have said she likes best, then that's what she should do. She's already Olympia qualified, because the cutoff last year was the Battle of the Bodies show, which was in September, the one that Ariana won. So yeah. This show, she just likes to compete, so she should go have fun, and it would be cool to win the first FIBO Expo. And yeah, the fullness in top and bottom totally match. I already did a recap on that show, so you can watch it if you want. Okay, and then Luca. So she is someone that I had my eye on heavily last year, not because I thought she was going to win a show, but because she has all of the makings of being able to win a show if she just puts on the size necessary. Unfortunately, the One Bro Pro Show photos are not up. And it's the show that she placed highest at, but she was placing high with not having enough size. So that is always something to be aware of. These photos weren't straight on, so I'm not going to show you the prog photos. Let's look at the row. And I was looking for Instagram this morning. I don't know if she deactivated it for a little bit or what, but it was not there. So here is Luca. I love the way her complexion looks. Her hair, makeup, tan are all fantastic every single time she's on stage. What she is missing is the glute development. So and she has like the right fullness, her conditioning is spot on. She just needs the adequate amount of glute development to start like being able to get an Olympia qualification. I want her to angle her hips a little bit more open to me. I'll look to see if she has photos where she's doing that. I think the reason, however, that she's doing that is so she gets more glute pop from the front. So this probably was the right move for the show, but it does throw off silhouette a little bit because the shoulders are a lot wider and the hips are narrower, even though you're getting the glute pop. So there's always a sacrifice in posing, especially if you're lacking in one area. You have to compensate in another way, and you have to weigh out whether that is worth it or not. And I wish the second place photos were out or were like available, because then I would, make an assessment on whether, it is worth it. Based on like, she did really well. Was she doing it then or not? But hair, perfect length, the complexion, she's just glowing and she's like popping out of her skin. She has the most pop she could get with the amount of muscle she has. And her glutes are just undersized compared to the rest of her body. So, shoulders have a lot of pop, projection, size, and she has great structure, like really wide shoulders. And if she just like puts on more size to her glutes, then I think that she will be winning shows pretty soon. She was just competing in November though, so how much size that she was able to put on, I don't know, but I definitely think we'll see her in like top 5, if not like higher than top 5. Okay, looking at this photo, she always poses like that. It probably is the right move to get the amount of glute pop needed in the front pose to match the upper body. She has a lot of fullness in the upper body, and she has like this crazy lat insertion, which makes her waist look super tiny. The suit shape I don't love. It's not bad though. Like if it were here in the US, the show, it might stand out more in a negative way, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I just don't love the shape. It gives that like little bit of sagginess. I want to see more fullness here and a straighter line here. That's what I would like to see. Okay, and then moving on, Allison Testu. Oh, I have a picture of it. Okay, I'll just have to pull it up on Instagram. Being able to pause this is amazing. I don't know how to edit or don't want to bother. Okay, here is Allison's most recent check-in photo. So Allison is one of my absolute fave athletes out there. So hopefully my bias, won't show through. So let's pull up Allison's front pose, or the last show she did. Allison is someone who did bikini for a while, or only bikini, placed 12th at her first Olympia, and then later on switched to the wellness division, and then after that came back to bikini. And an issue that Allison often has is that her conditioning. So she prefers to come in a lot harder. That's like her personal preference for how she looks. And she struggles to come in softer because I think she struggles with her self-image. I don't mean to put words in her mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. And another thing she has issues with is let's do quickly a physique assessment at her most recent show. A lot of hardness up here, but really great conditioning. Glutes are just undersized compared to her legs. She has a lot of density in her legs, and her glutes look great, but they just look like they flow into her hamstrings. In her back pose, even though she does have great glutes, especially in this front pose. So what she needs is more upper outer glute here. You can see it's sloping off, like you can see where that insertion is stopping. And she just needs more projection, pop in her glutes, which is going to come from more size in her glutes. Hair, a little bit too long. I want it to be a little shorter. Arms I'm okay with. They could be a little straighter, but I'm okay with it. And this front pose is really good. I don't have anything to say. It's just that her her shoulder conditioning is a little bit distracting. This, I think, is more distracting than what we saw with the first athlete we had pulled up, Elomena. So yeah. And then hair and makeup always looks good. She doesn't smile enough on stage. I have heard her say that she's going to be smiling more. And you know what? Sorry to light up so much about that. I just know that it will help her placings. I'm not out here thinking women need to smile more. But on stage, it helps to look like you're having fun. So if you're not smiling, it doesn't read that well. This is her photo. Well, these are screenshots from a video she posted today, maybe past few days. Something to be aware of in her check-in photos. She has these little ties that are like this black suit. These little ties obscure her waist, so her waist looks freaky small, and it is, but it is covering up like a chunk of her waist there. In her back pose, same thing, like the tie is covering up her waist there. But look at this look. So what she's had to do is downsize, and she needs to come in fuller. This looks excellent to me. I will be curious to see what her glute looks like on stage, because this one doesn't look like it's popping as much as this one, as far as like how low it's going, but really great balance from top to bottom. She started angling her knees more forward and almost in slightly to minimize her quads, so that way her quads aren't like flowing directly into her glutes like what we were just saying in those photos. This is a really dark backdrop, like a shadowy backdrop, however, so we'll just have to see how it looks on stage, but this conditioning is beautiful. And I'm so excited to see what she brings to stage, and excited to see that she is like working with someone for posing. I think she said that. But some things that she does in her posing that I was talking about are, okay, so let's go through some of this. So this is all okay. Okay, when she gets to like this, she starts to sit back into it, and it causes some glute folding and some scrunching here in her skin. It's just like squatting into it too much, and I'm not seeing hourglass shape. She looks like straight up and down and like she's almost leaning back. So we want to maintain like a tall posture the whole time. This is like scrunching her glutes. It's taking away from shape. We're seeing too much of her leg here. We only want to see like this glute and a little bit of that one. We don't want to be able to see that full like hamstring where your glute ties into your hamstring all the way down to like both calves. So the angling is a little bit much. And then when we continue, let's see what we see. Same thing. Too much leg there. The angles are just off. So that's what I would like to see her change. Posing, smiling more on stage, conditioning, stuff like that. So good luck to Allison. I'm a big fan. Okay. And then who do we have at last? Lisa Reith. So Lisa has been at the Olympian, at least twice, if not more than that. Okay. Yeah, twice. And Lisa has a great look. There are just some things that are a little bit dated. Like the makeup is not glam. The hair is not polished. So those things I'd like to see changed. Oh, and let's look at Allison when she wore a red suit when she placed 12th at the Olympia. I was obsessed. She looked so good in this suit. This was her first Olympia and she placed 12th. Incredible shape. Like, that's the look that I've heard her say, the judges say they want to see again. Okay, back to Lisa. So, Lisa, Lisa's conditioning is just a little hit and miss. It's usually pretty hard, which in Europe, even though it's supposed to be the same standard all around, it would be, Tyler is going to be judging this one, so the judging will be, like, in line with what we see at the Olympia. But yeah, just a little bit too hard. Looks like she might have had some tanning issues at that show. So what she needs to do is just come in with like a streamlined hair, makeup, and like the right conditioning, and she will do really well. If I had to say who I think is going to win this show, like what order I think, then I would have to say, okay, here's my guess. My guess, just based on the past, we don't, I can't make like a real, I haven't seen any of them, like, recently. A lot of them haven't been on stage yet. But if I had to guess, just based on previous history, I would say, okay, in the top 5, Allison, Lisa, Luca, Evie, and either Noemi or Eliomena. I think if Eliomena has put on more size in her legs, then that is someone that we would see in the top 5. But who's going to win? Probably Evie, or Allison. I'm really excited to see what Allison looks like. Evie or Allison. And then if we're going based on my top 5, then I would say Evie, Allison, Lisa, if the conditioning is right, Luca, Eliomena. But I think that Eliomena could get in that 3-4 spot. So those are my guesses. Okay, let's move on to Charlotte. I'm really excited about the Charlotte show, and I'm excited that we have 2 shows to be previewing right now. I'm thrilled. So let's get into it. We have 28 people on this list. It is a Masters and an Open show, so a lot of the Masters people are competing in the Open portion. So it's not like, so that's what it is. So who do I have pulled up? I have a lot of people pulled up. This person I have pulled up because it will be her pro debut. I didn't see like official check-in pictures from her on her Instagram or anything. I saw like what she was looking like in the gym. But yeah, who do I think is like, looking at this list, let me pull up the list. Who do I think is going to be our top 5? Let me tell you that right off the bat. Okay, I think our top 5 is going to be Maria. Rhoda could get in there. I would like to see Rhoda in there. Okay, so Maria, Jordan, Ariana, Rhoda, so that's 4. And then I really only feel confident about those 4 being in the top 5. And then maybe I'll change my mind when we get in here. So this person, another pro debut. I am very curious to see how she will look on this stage. And when I think about all those people I just said, how do they compare? They're all pretty different physiques, different heights, different amounts of muscle. So I don't really have a gauge of like that. But I think this person, I'll be excited to see what she looks like. She's been off since December of 2023. So I would like to see if she's put on enough size to be competitive in a lineup like this. I think this is a great pro debut show to do because there's a lot of really good people in it. But really great balance from top to bottom. It's just going to be a matter of, did she put on enough muscle to, in a balanced way that will get her a look at the show. So this is Erica Carwald, wishing you big luck on your pro debut and congratulations. So that's the first person I want to talk about. And then Megan Lacoste, another pro debut, that same thing. She got her pro card in May, last year, so at the Junior USA's. And she has a great look too. I didn't have any like look things I wanted to change with Erica, by the way. Like, I think the suit is pretty, hair and makeup are pretty, tan looks great. So really it's just going to be, what does she look like at this show? And then Megan, same thing. I like the hair and makeup. I like the suit. And yeah, it's going to be how much size she put on. She has a really balanced physique. She's coached by Christy M. Sandy, another IFBB Bikini Pro. And then looking at her back pose, she has great glutes. Like, that's the thing that I'll look at with most people pro debuts. Like, were their glutes good enough to win them a pro card, but not good enough to like be in a pro show yet? But hers look really balanced. She reminds me of Laura Lee's glutes. Like, the shape of her glutes right there remind me of Laura Lee. Let's look up Laura Lee and I will show you side by side what I mean. So here's Laura Lee when she won the Olympia last year, and they just have very similar insertions. I think, at least. You can tell me if you think I'm wrong, but let's look at them side by side. Oops. Here she is. Okay, and then we're side by side now. Here and here. Okay. Yeah, I think, that picture angle is off, but I think they have similar shaped glutes. So I'm excited to see Megan at this show. I think she's someone else who could get a look. And I wouldn't put them out of getting in top 7 or dare I say higher. So we'll just see. So I'm excited to see them, and congrats and good luck. Okay. Sierra Swan. So she is someone who has been to the Olympia before, but she missed her qualification by a spot last year 2 times. She lost to Ashley both of those times. So she won the Optimum Classic in 2023, and then last year she got second. I really like Sierra, and I think what she has is just some structural hurdles. She has pretty her waist is a similar width to her hips. She doesn't have that like freaky tiny waist like a Brittany Gillespie or someone like that. So that's something she's working against. When that is present, what you have to do is like build other areas to give you the illusion of hourglass shape since you don't naturally have it. Obviously she has an incredible physique and a great structure which got her to the Olympia, but it is a battle when you are just as high up as all these other athletes. Like when everyone has incredible genetics, it's tougher. So what she needs is more glutes, and I would say more legs in general. She looks pretty sucked down here. I actually, now that I look at this, I think she said she had a back injury or something during the show, so props. But her legs look very tight, and we just aren't getting that fullness and pop. So that's what I want to see out of her. Let's look at what her winning look looked like when she won the Optimum in 2023. And from the back, she has like crazy looking glute insertions. Yeah, still same thing. She was really tight. We just need more. Did I pull up the same show? Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, I think all the same things. Okay, here she's a Sasquatch. She's a little fuller here, but just needs more size on her lower body. And then let's look at her back pose. Yeah, the hip width, it's just not exaggerated like a Laura Lee or something. It's pretty in line with her waist. So it's just building those glutes more and not letting the quads overpower her glutes, which when you have more narrow hips, it's hard not to let your legs be the same width as your glutes, like for your legs to be underpowered by your glutes. So it's just a structural thing. I'm excited to see what she does this season, but she's someone to look at because she has been to the Olympia before. Okay, and Maria. So Maria, I believe she lives in Charlotte, and she has done this show the past 2 years in a row and gotten second place. And I went back and I looked at the scorecards from 2023 and 2024, and she it said a perfect score for like first through like fifth place, even first through 10th place. So I don't know like if it was like, sometimes they'll put that, but it was more of a discussion. So here is Maria. I've talked about her a bunch of times before. You know, she's one of my faves, and I think that this is her show for sure. I will be, unless Jordan takes it. I think, unless Jordan or Ariana, I just don't know if Ariana's condition will be quite right. She still could win a show not being as conditioned, but Maria and Jordan have no problem with conditioning, and I think that they are like your top three. Who was the fourth person I said earlier? Rhoda. Yeah, I think they will be your top three. So it's going to come down to like how they all look next to each other. And Ariana will be the tallest one of those three. And Ariana comes in usually a little bit softer unless her conditioning is spot on right now. I have not seen her or coach post about like how she looks right now. But Maria, I think it's going to be her show. Great balance, great pop. Always comes in shape with the right hair, makeup, suit, tan, everything is perfect. So I think it's going to be her show. And good luck. Okay, let's pull up Jordan just say, well, okay, I'm not going to be able to find her right now. Okay, so Rhoda, she is someone whose physique I love. What she, I think, struggles with is conditioning on the lower body and having a shorter upper body than legs. So it's harder to strike a balance in situations like this. Because she has shorter insertions on top, like I've talked about with Ashlyn, and I said that with someone else last week, I think. I forget who. But yeah, oh, is she fully post? So yeah, she has shorter insertions on the top, so they're really filled out, but her lower body, her glute insertions are super long, so that's kind of an imbalance genetically, not something that can be overcome. Rhoda will get a look wherever she goes because she has like a crazy physique, but we just need more fullness to the glutes, and since those muscles are longer, then it takes a lot more muscle to fill them out and get that projection and pop that we see Ashlyn has achieved, for instance, and she was just told to get even more. So it's just, you know, a struggle no matter, you know, what your situation is. As far as suits, it just kind of flows straight into the hamstring. Her legs look dense, but her glutes need to catch up. I think that's really the only thing standing in her way, and that will help balance out her conditioning whenever she does get there, because that she can't like deplete anymore because then she'll be too hard elsewhere and then her glutes will be too small. So it's just like a balance you have to find. Love the pink on her, but what I loved was NPC IFBB Rhoda Alley Instagram. I loved when she wore the turquoise suit at her Arnold show. So she won the overall at the Arnold Amateur in 2022. 2023. And then she like was invited to compete at the Arnold the next year, and I loved this suit on. So that was her Arnold win, and then here she is competing there as a pro. I loved this suit on her. So I think either suit would be great, but I would like her to wear like this suit or the pink. Probably this suit. I think because pink can make you look a bit softer, and she needs more glutes anyway, so I'd probably wear that one. Okay, so Rhoda is someone I'm looking at. Noemi has gotten third. Sorry, not Noemi. Noelle has gotten third place before, sixth place all last year. She has a great physique. Will she be in the top 5? I don't know, but I think she has potential to be. Really great fullness. I want her to stand a little bit straighter up. I don't think she's like fully posed quite yet. Oh, she is. Okay, stand a little taller. We need more glute because it's being overpowered by the hamstring. That's what I think about her. I think she's someone to look out for. She has a really great look. And if she has more glutes, she'll look even more balanced from this back pose. Which I think that's the key that she's missing right now. So I'm excited to see her on stage and would like to give her a shout out. Hair, makeup, suit, all very pretty. Okay. And hair length was good. Romina, I've talked about Romina a lot already. At the other show she did this year at the San Diego Pro. And yeah, so just go watch that if you want to hear what I have to say there. But just conditioning, we need her to get lean enough. But she'll definitely be in top 10. Okay, Jordan. So she has said she'll be coming in softer to this show. Because her issue was she was too hard at the Arnold. So let's look at what her best look was. I have no idea what she's going to look like because her physique has completely changed since last year. And even like since the beginning of the year. So I think she could definitely win. It's just going to be a matter of like, is she full enough, not showing a ton of vascularity as she tends to here? And yeah, really that. Like, did she nail the conditioning? I also think her posing could be improved. I know she's working with Phoebe Hageman to improve her posing. So I think it'll look more and more natural as she does it more often. But usually it looks a little bit too thought out. Borderline robot. Just because it seems like she's thinking about each step as she does it. So to me, it looks a little bit forced and less like it is just her. So that's what I would like to see changed with her presentation wise. Also, you know that I don't love the purple eye that she does. I would like something a little bit softer. Especially because she has such an angular face. When you have like a harsher eye look on top of already having like beautiful angular features, it can look a little bit harsh on stage. Okay, Ari. So I wish that I could see. Let me see. Maybe her coach usually he posted about Evie. So let me see if he's posted about Ariana. Okay. No, there's no new pictures of Ariana. Yeah, Ari, she just needs to bring a tighter look. I think the best she ever looked was, like, tightness-wise, was probably either the Olympia or the Atlantic Coast. We'll pull up Atlantic Coast. I would like to see Atlantic Coast conditioning at this show with, like, the amount of muscle she currently has. She just had really great pop. That is a great amount of pop on her glutes there, especially relative to her physique because she has that, like, more Maureen kind of, like, pop, not puffy skin, but like Maureen says she has thicker skin. She has like more of that. What would we even say? Basketballs have like dimples on them, but what's something that's like thick and like firm, like bell peppers? She has like a bell pepper skin. I love her look. So if she comes in tight, then I think she could win any show that she competes in. So I think it'll be her, Ariana, and Maria, but I think Maria's gonna win the show. Okay, Kiki. So Kiki Cunningham, I always struggle with her tops. Her boob like falls out of the bottom of her suit a lot. Like I want it to be flush to her skin, and this shouldn't be rounded. It should be flat. So I would like to see that. changed. And then she wears this V cut because she has a shorter torso, I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's because she has a shorter torso. She's trying to elongate it. I am not mad at that. It's just an observation. Um, and I think it does what she wants it to do because then it's able to still cut like under oblique. I would like that to land under oblique, the connector, but she just needs more size all around, especially in her legs, in my opinion. Yeah, just more size on her glutes and her legs. She probably can't get her legs any bigger right now because then her glutes would be like very underpowering. They look more imbalanced here, but yeah, more hamstring and more upper outer glute. That's what she'll need, but I think she'll be in the top 10. Okay. And then we have Erica. So Erica has placed top 5 before. She placed top 5 once last year, but was placing higher than that the year prior, I think. Yeah, 5th, 4th. Okay, so Erica has a great look. Hers is the same thing, that she just needs more size, specifically to her lower body. So she has a really great balance from top to bottom, but she still needs some more size in her lower body compared to her upper body. She has a lot more density. You see there's a lot more detail there. The red lip, I don't love with the suit. I do find it distracting. I love a red lip. You know that I am a makeup artist, so I do love a red lip, but it's just a little bit overpowering and it needs more size to the glutes, more of this like shape out here, because she has a lot of fullness in the legs, but the glutes are a little bit underpowering. However, they are great, like, you know, conditioning is great and they already have great size. Okay, and then we only have 2 more people. Okay, so this person, Rachel, she placed 3rd at the Dallas show last year, and I really love her look. I like the hair, I like the makeup, the tan looks great. Same thing with the leg. I want a little bit of bend in it, like I showed you with Jennifer at the beginning of the video. The dark red suit, I think, can look a little muddy with the tan and does not make you stand out. Not even make you stand out, but you want it to like pop off your skin and add to your look. I don't think it's adding to your look, and why do something if it's not going to add to your look? What she needs, more glutes. Maybe she's just arching more than she needs, but I think it's going to be more glutes. A little bit too forced with the arms here. They're like really pointing out, and we're losing some rear delt and seeing mainly triceps. So straighten the arms, relax a little bit. Length of the hair is good, and we need a different suit cut, like a pro cut, like I talked about in my video the other day with how Ashley went from T-back to a more like heart-shaped back. That's what I would like to see from Rachel. And let's see if she changed that when she did the Republic of Texas. And oh, this was 2023. Sorry, not 24. Yeah, a little more bend in the knee, but really great pop to her skin, glow, hair, makeup, suit are great. And just needs more size on the lower body. And then let's look at her back pose. Yeah, relax the arms. So good luck to her. And then Marioli. So she has placed top 5 before. I really like her look. She's placed top 5 more than once. I really like her look. And she's also a Masters competitor, I believe. I want her to bring her arm in a little bit, and she'll just need more. I'm not obsessed with this suit color on her. There's the suit top. It just looks a little bit small. I think that's what it is. I want more coverage on the suit top, maybe like right here, because I feel like I'm seeing a lot of skin. Looking at her back pose, it's really great. She just needs more size. Like you can see those hamstring cords. She just needs more size in her back pose. And more glam to the hair. Like you can see the extensions versus her natural hair. So yeah, that is my take. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's going to be Maria, Ariana, Jordan, or it's going to be one of those 3 to win. I would love to see Maria finally win the show after getting 2nd place at the show 2 years in a row. But yeah, I think those 3. And then who else in my top 5? Probably Rhoda and Sierra could get in there if she has the right amount of pop. But Romina, same thing. Romina can win most shows if she comes in conditioned. But based on her recent performances, I don't know if she's going to be tight enough. Let me look and see if Romina has posted any updates. Because she could very well. Okay, she posted 5 days ago, and I don't know if this is recent, but she still did not look tight enough for me. Yeah. Okay, she does look tighter. She does look tighter. Her waist is just a little bit blown out for me. This is the video I'm looking at. But also could be midday, and that's why, you know? So yeah, who else do I think? I think even Noelle could get into the top five. Not even Noelle, that's rude. But I think Noelle could get in the top five. And I really am curious to see how Erica and the other lacrosse, Megan Lacoste, I'm curious to see how they look. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any comments, let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and happy birthday again, Anina. Bye.